Hello, gamers. It's us. It's me, Keith the Dinosaur Boy VA, and here with me tonight is, of course, the amazing Seven the Vampire. Say hi, Seven.
Hello.
And we're playing more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All, continuing the first trial of the finale case. Oh boy.
Yeah. It's already gotten pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
Look so. See.
Hi,
Hey,
Delilah. How's it going?
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. On God, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court.
Doing well. How are you guys? I'm doing all right. I am doing all right.
I'm alive.
And that's the most you can say about some days, you know?
Yeah.
Never kill yourself.
I actually forgot.
What's up?
Oh my God. Things on. What the fuck happened? I just need 1 second. I really forgot something.
Alright, well. It's just you and me, chat. What are the vibes today?
There we go. Like I said, it would just be like 1 second.
Oh, okay. You good?
It wasn't. Yeah. I didn't have my phone charger.
Oh, okay.
I like to have my phone charged.
Gotcha.
It's low on that.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime is Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Corrida's room. I was Adrian, right?
Yes.
I was making sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure I was. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt on guard. I see. Now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I am sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing. And would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was of a certain weekly magazine. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of gossip.
Yeesh. If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, why did I read that almost in the judge's voice? Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Corrida. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait matter. Or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing.
God, I love fishing.
But I didn't kill him. No one has accused you of that. I've got a feeling someone will soon. I think we all understand your relation with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then. Witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder had taken place. Almost. Let's see. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there he was, and there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scenes in the crime scene photo. I felt as I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. Poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes. Sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. That was... Why do I keep doing that? That was when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. I see. I don't know why I keep thinking the judge. What?
Eto boy.
Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix.
One of those things.
She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match. Yeah, I know. In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pace. Disrupt her pace? She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understand?
When I found the body.
Okay.
I found the body!
A body has been discovered!
I think it was red. Saw red leaving the electrical.
Oh, red killed blue and electrical, guys.
Yeah, totally. I saw it. Saw it happen with my own two.
Red is sus. Alright. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Okay, fine. God. You were in shock?
What? Was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurida.
Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that young beauty like her would not be shocked.
You startled me. Fair enough.
Hi, Wired.
Hello, Wired. Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
I see. Were you so shocked that you started pouring yourself a glass of juice?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean... Hold it! Juice?
Yes. There was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking. That's even weirder.
Miss Andrews, I'd like to confirm with you one more thing. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Corrida, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself a glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind was really completely blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank? I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now?
That'll let her be, it's not.
No, I mean, what on earth was it? Miss Andrews! I'm convinced that as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I when I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? This mess of glass shards was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, the people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. It looks like another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Where it fell onto the guitar case. But the guitar case was open when we went into it. When we went into the room.
That's true.
And there wasn't any water inside of it, just on top.
And the only prints on the guitar case are Juan Corrida's.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning it couldn't have been opened after.
Correct. So, you mind explaining this? Objection! 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 There we go. You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what's so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
That's very true!
Furthermore...
Don't act like you understood what's happening here, but...
Oh, God. Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo.
Let's not.
The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not on the outside of the case.
What's your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
No. Think back on what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yes, that's right. She did say that she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The Brightwood guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on the case at all.
Well, that may very well be. However, an empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case.
Seems that there was no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Make her testify!
Leave her alone, it's fine.
The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you.
I can't believe I'm doing this either.
You know, it's kind of funny that starting on Friday, I'll be doing my own game where I'll be doing similar stuff to what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll follow along for now.
Just a smidge of mystery games.
Yeah. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. By the way, it's gonna be funny because I remember most of the cases in LA Noire. Obviously, I don't remember every interrogation perfectly because it's a big ass game.
Fair enough.
But it's gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun. It's also gonna be fun to see if you can guess some of the stuff. That is part of it, is, you know, telling who's lying, who's telling the truth.
Right.
And you have to tell both by facial expression and what you already know.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, that was the big thing with it. We'll get into that.
Right.
I don't remember it too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Looks like this really wasn't a very important point. But then why weren't your prints on the case?
Yeah, that's that. I immediately clocked that in.
This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now. It's almost comforting. Jesus.
Thank you, Edgeworth.
Edgeworth, you're an asshole.
Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Are you screenshotting this one?
Of course I'm taking this one. This is an amazing reaction image.
I don't know. Also, I don't know why, but I just thought about my double bros again.
My double bros! If you don't know what that refers to,
wait a while.
you're going to have to wait a bit, but completely unrelated. Go check out Buzzle B23's read through of Witch on the Holy Night. I'm there, Seven is there. I almost said Rich on the Holy Night, yes.
I mean, they are rich. I love the fact that I gave the final brother a fucking radio voice. I was just like, fuck it, we're doing this now.
God.
Using anyway. Change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man. Christ. Anyway, cross-examination time.
What a crazy.
By the way, this one is like one of my
God.
favorite ones because you can present on like almost any part of her state.
Yeah.
And it will work.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
Because any part of the statement, as long as you present the guitar case, it's good.
Yeah.
Except for, I think the only one it doesn't work on is the first.
Yeah, it makes sense for the first one not be. Anyways.
But every other part of it, yeah.
Objection! There is no way you were the one who opened that guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Okay, Sherlock. Won the world.
Not Sherlock.
Oh, true. Sherlock Holmes. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Okay. God, I love Ace Attorney. What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What about to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time? Gloves? Well, why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I was dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems that the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
No, that's a bit strange.
No, it's not. Wait a second. It's nothing strange. She was wearing gloves. She
No,
was.
no. Run that back. No.
She was wearing gloves to the party. party. What? What's wrong with that?
You were wearing gloves? Now, isn't that a bit strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not actually wearing gloves at the time?
In fact, I do. The wine glass that you picked up. Take that! I have your proof right here. This wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass.
Ah!
Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
Yeah. I love that breakdown animation. Her glass is shattered and she just... Another pair.
Another pair. My brand!
Look with your special eye.
My brand!
Order! Order! Order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time. Huh? What do you mean? I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here. But it's just an empty case. I wonder if it really was empty, though. But the guitar... That bright red guitar was at the studio. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case? What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar. I always forget she's wearing pants that aren't the same color as her shirt. I always feel like people draw her in a dress or something. Fair.
It's weird. Yeah, Adrian. Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't see a ton of fan art of Adrian, but when I do, it's very weird. Like, feels like you didn't draw. Feels like you kind of forget.
Fair enough. You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Hang on, that's not right either. Phoenix.
Adrian's an interesting character to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, it might just be biased since this is like my favorite case in the series.
No, that's so fair though. Adrian is probably one of the more interesting final case witnesses. Yeah. There's a few that, you know, rival her, but you know,
don't give me look at the final case of, like I said, this may be my final, but that is not throwing any shade at the case, the final case in Trials and Tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
The final case in Trials and Tribulations is phenomenal in its own right. It's just, this one is so damn good with particularly because of the side plot going on.
Yeah. Maya getting kidnapped raises the stakes so damn high.
And it's just so much because you're trying to figure, you're trying to figure out multiple things. First off, why does this kidnapper care so much about Matt on guard getting this acquittal?
Mm-hmm.
That's like one of the big first things that comes to your mind is like, why the hell does he care so much?
Right.
I guess he's just a big fan of Samurai. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case... Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactics at work. Steer the court toward an unrelated topic and lure us all into his misguided...
No, Your Honor. Please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it's wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure that this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim. Correct? Please, enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
bright red guitar not being the only thing. You don't mean to suggest that a bright black... They all...
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
oh my
Just
God.
There is no guitar in the case. It is not bright red, no bright white, no bright black, none of that. No tones of guitar, no guitar at all.
Oh my freaking God. Thank you, Ace
Your
Attorney.
theory, so you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, right?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say something that I don't intend to prove.
You
I don't know.
do that
I don't know
all the
about
time.
that. Well, this time I'm not doing it. Trust.
Like that head of yours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Hold up.
Deflate that head of yours is crazy. Oh.
I don't even need the rest of this statement. I just need to deflate that head of yours.
Holy crap.
I just need to deflate that head of yours as a reaction. That's
Oh my
glorious.
God, deflate that head of yours.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Now then, let's have it. What was inside of the case at the time of the murder?
Let's see here. Murder scene. That's not the photo. Where is? There it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just making sure. Take that.
This is a photograph.
Yeah, but what's important is what's inside the picture, Your Honor.
In this picture?
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I'm proposing is... inside that guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Witness, are you Right? Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop. And in the end, she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this photo? Order! Order! It looks like we wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Nice job, Phoenix. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first and think later.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Madame Guard. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case of all places? True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, court would like to hear your thought. What was the Nickel Samurai's costume doing inside the guitar case?
Alright, so, trust me on this one. We're going to get a penalty, but it's fine. We put a save state on this hypothetical emulator that I'm playing. Hypothetically, obviously, because this is totally legal hardware. I think it may have been stolen from Mr. On Guard.
Stolen? Well, why would someone do such a thing?
Maybe the thief wanted to interfere with the post-ceremony stage show.
And I've seen this scene too, because the first time I played this, I thought that was the answer.
That's so fair, though, actually. And so, if he didn't have his costume, then Mr. On Guard would be forced to go naked!
Maybe you should be stripped naked and run out for making a mockery of the sport. Holy shit.
Maybe you should be stripped naked.
God damn.
Wouldn't you like to see that, Edgeworth? Excuse me?
Mr. Madame Guard did not take his costume off after the award ceremony. He even testified to that he took a nap while wearing his costume.
God, that's crazy.
Is that not correct?
Can you imagine how uncomfortable that thing probably is? Like, I would not be able to take a nap in that, not gonna lie.
It's probably about as comfortable as, you know, I mean, some cosplays.
Yeah, that's fair. I, personally, I would not be able to take a nap in, something that elaborate.
No, I would.
Yeah, he did say something like that, didn't he?
Like, I would not be, heck, I wouldn't be able to take a nap in either my Archer or Olivier cosplays, let alone something that elaborate.
That's so fair. Anyways, it was a spare. Mr. On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we're talking about was a spare.
What? Then, are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? Would mean that the victim had planned to bring this spare to the ceremony. But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the German ninja. Why would he secretly bring a Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could have been the reason behind such a peculiar act?
Ah, so that's what he intended.
What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue? I love Edgeworth.
Thank you. No, I just,
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer. And then answer with gusto. I believe in you. Alright. This is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was...
I was so caught off guard when I had to present something here.
Oh yeah, that's so fair.
Because I was like, what the fuck would I be presenting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it takes a little digging into, like, what you should be remembering. And so it would be the press conference ticket. Because we told Matt On Guard about the press conference that the Nickel Samurai was going to give, but he didn't actually know about any of that.
Yeah, that didn't occur to me for a minute when I first played this. So I was thinking about everything, and then that came to my brain. But I thought it was gonna be because of the way this is. You know, usually when you're doing something like this, it's like
it's a dialogue prompt, right?
Yeah, it's a dialogue, like a 3, like, you know, like we just did with the is it stolen costume or is it spare costume. So I was expecting something like that. So when it came to presenting, my mind went blank because I wasn't expecting it at the moment. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that makes sense. Take
I
that!
kind of forgot. And besides, I kind of forgot I had that in my inventory.
No, that's so fair. I did too until now. Until now when I got there.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but it's just like, it's a thing that you forget about sometimes. So many other pieces of evidence. What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
Press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? Jesus Christ, Edgeworth, give him a break.
Good lord. But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said that he had no idea who was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can only mean one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very press conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, bless
I
you.
thought I wasn't talking. I felt like I was about to sneeze, and then I wasn't, and it was just not going away. The feeling wasn't going away either.
Ugh. Hate that.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm not sneezing, but it won't go away, so I can't speak.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to dress up as a Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
Well, that's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on Guard.
Yes, I guess that's what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession. That's public disclosure. Miss Andrews? I can see why you're a pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference set up by Juan.
Ooh.
Okay. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also you? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was also going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what that's what he thought. He
No,
was
it's the Grand
going
Prix.
to ruin him, huh? The Grand Prix is the guy. It looked like somehow Juan had his hands on a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Damn. He was gonna cancel my guy.
Yeah, he probably deserves it.
What?
He dug up some old tweets of his from 2010. And as we all know, if you tweeted something in 2010, you think the exact same thing now, 6 years later.
Oh my god.
I love the internet. Anyway.
It seems that in 2010, Matt on Guard, was homophobic.
And we all know. You never said anything stupid in high school. And be embarrassed to know, and are embarrassed by you saying that.
We all know that people are not capable of change throughout their lifetimes.
Those things. I fucking every time I see it, it's like, okay, well, what was that said? It's like 2007. Like, okay, so shut the fuck up and sit. Feel like
Jesus.
And do you know what this secret of Mr. Unguards is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Ah, I see. I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone else. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Matt on guard?
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light at sea. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor, I understand. You know, it's crazy. We're almost an hour in, and we still have like two more. There's still like 3 more cross-examinations.
Oh yeah, no, this one's a long one.
This is why we ended off before doing this last time, because Christ and a half.
Yeah.
This is a long cross-examination.
Woof. Oh, hey, Remy.
Hey, Remy, welcome. Let me get that shout out. Hey,
Welcome,
Remy, how's it
Raiders.
going? Welcome. I am the amazing Seven the Vampire. Here with my good friend and co-host Keith. We play a variety of games. Tonight, Keith is actually the one playing the game because it is today. See if I did that command right. I always screwed up. There we go, got it right. The Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Nice.
Yes, we play a variety of games. Tonight is Keith playing
Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. We're on the first trial day of the final case, the second part of it.
Yeah, and we still have quite a bit of trial to go because Christ Andrews has a long cross-examination. And I mean, things just keep getting revealed. Apparently Juan Corrido is going to cancel Matt on guard.
He was going to dig up some tweets from 2020 or from 2010. If it was from 2020, maybe he deserves it actually.
2020, that wouldn't make sense.
True.
Because this game takes place in like 2018,
True. Bro came from the future. He is going to tweet these, so we should cancel him now.
I went to the future. We made some progress in the Mage Guild's quest, got a rank of Warlock, and now we got tasks from the Archmage himself. Nice.
Ooh.
I love
future.
Get the future tweet.
Dude, the freaking Jammin' Ninja is going to post a freaking twit longer about the Nickel Samurai. Oh my god.
Hashtag Matt is over.
Hashtag Matt on guard is over party.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
We're canceling Matt on guard, people. He sounds too much like a surfer, dude.
Look, all I'm saying is if you need a replacement Nickel Samurai, we got Will Powers here. He's already in the Gatewater in the Gatewater Hotel. So
There? Are they still not letting him leave?
I mean, we haven't heard from him yet. I certainly hope he's left. But I mean, if he...
The Gateway Hotel is just empty and he's just there like... Can I go home now?
So, well, they didn't expressly tell me to leave, so I think I'm supposed to be here.
Until someone tells me again, because he is such a good boy.
God. Him and Dick Gumshoe, man. Just two enormous wet dogs of people. I love both of them, but God, somebody throw them both a bone. They don't deserve this.
I could do some cup noodles instead of a bone.
You're getting a bone. I'm sorry, man. On your salary, I don't know.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to. Did not pick up me saying that?
What's up?
Did you not? Did because I said the line.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I guess it didn't pick up. All right, then it's fine.
But like,
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I don't know.
Eh.
Does this account for everything? Well, I'm the logical.
We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than she's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
There are no objections. I feel I can pass a verdict based on this testimony. Now then, Mr. Wright, if you please.
Looks like somehow everything has swung in the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to push my way into this and turn her logic upside down. Alright, let's see if it picks up this time. Yep. Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things?
I actually missed this bit on my first one.
Yeah, this one's a little interesting, so.
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. Mostly because a different statement stood out to me more than that. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear.
You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school. At least not from what I remember.
May I continue now?
In any case, there is one thing that did stick out to me.
Yeah, this stuck out to me more, and so I skipped past the first one, my first run through, and then when I was doing a bunch of, during like my second playthrough onward, when I did some research, I found out a few extra lines of dialogue, and I wanted to.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Okay, fine. God, hold it. There it is. Okay. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
The button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. During the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Gem Ninja's costume. Talking about this button, correct? The button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama. Isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence. Looks like you are outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, that knife doesn't prove anything. Please fix your testimony.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
He didn't even say that out loud.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this to your testimony. What did Wright do that's so bad that Mia's glaring at him like he's literally just pressing the witness?
What do you want from me?
Like, I never understood that. Like, why is Mia so annoyed at him with what he said there?
Who knows? But let's see. Where is the... There it is, okay. Yep, strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. Oh boy.
Just, autopsy... No. Because... Yeah, no, it is the autopsy, yeah, no.
Okay, alright, just making sure. I was like, wait.
Yeah, I was trying to remember, because I know, like, the point we're trying to make is that there was no struggle. Well, there isn't, like, a huge struggle, a huge fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to remember what, like, that piece of evidence was, but yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I guess it's just the way the autopsy report is worded, it doesn't really give me the...
That's fair. But yeah. Objection! This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Actually, we just updated the autopsy report about 2 seconds.
You gotta be kidding me, man. Not again. You can't keep getting away with this.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Well, let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which could mean that it was ripped off the costume. But when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly, which means... it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body.
Order! Order! What is the meaning of this, right? So what? The button was torn off the body after the victim had already died. What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question then, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What? This?
We now know that this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean... What does this mean? You know what the murderer wanted to do with that button. This button. What was it?
Well, to pin the crime on guard.
Yeah. Reason.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There's no way that anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
No way someone would put a bloody button in there. And the real murderer is? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard is...
Windy Oldbag. Ron Carida. Pearl Fay.
Friggin...
Francisco Von
Francisco Von Karma.
It was, The
Yeah.
dead lady.
The woman who killed herself. God.
Nah, I couldn't be Adrian. What are you talking about?
Who cares? Yeah, I mean, it's not like she was like, you know, one of the only people that actually went into the room. No. It was Maya.
She kidnapped herself.
All right. Fine. Take that! Miss Adrian Andrews, I choose you. You are Mr. Karida's killer.
Why did I choose you?
I choose you. Use Thunderbolt.
What the fuck are you talking?
I mean, you killed him.
Right? What the hell? Order! 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 Mr. Wright! This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence to support your charge?
Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
How many glasses have you gotten?
God dang.
Then what about the button found in Matt's Akama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found this body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama. Another one. The only person who could have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could have only been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No, But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposefully left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of the dead body. And to top it all off, there's this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews? I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it incriminates me. Well, yes. You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination by allowing a witness not to testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Pleading the fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room. Adrian Andrews!
Yes?
Think hard about what we just discussed, understood?
All right.
That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews not to testify if things looked bad.
You did a good job proving everything up until this point, Phoenix. But there's still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Ran out of evidence? What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to prove a single piece of provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Kurita. Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Kurita? I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I'll abstain from answering. But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
No! She's taking that defiant attitude again. Mia, what should I do here?
Somehow, we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think we've reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify. And if the defense's theory is that she is actually the actual murderer, has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there's only one thing this court can do. And that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please.
Please.
Let the trial continue.
That was Edgeworth for me.
Yeah, it swapped over to him, yeah. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it is impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is... It is not impossible for this trial to continue. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you... It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony. Yes, that is very true, but this confused me a bit my first time. I was like, what the f- are we going on about?
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah,
like
that's
very
fair.
like legal jargon type stuff, and I'm just like, this goes way over my head.
No, that's so fair.
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrew. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think of how unnatural that. Usually, when one finds a body, they're shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
You know what? Fair enough.
Well, I've been saying since the beginning. Sure, my actions were unusual, but I've already. Before you, I want you to say that if you have a reason behind your action, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify. Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
Court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please. Glass of juice? I didn't really pour it. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over, tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like, I thought that he was dead. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. When I saw him sit,
What's
to
up?
be honest, I thought that he had just fainted or something. So I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked over the flower. So you poured the glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say that in your earlier testimony? I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. But you outright lied.
Yeah, that's just straight up perjury
Like-
at that point.
Yeah, like at that point, that's just straight up perjury because you outright said you poured the glass of juice for yourself. So why did you? That's not including something important. That's why you poured the glass of juice. What point would you have to lie about that?
Phoenix, please be careful out there. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know.
Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that brain of yours?
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. You know, I get that all the time in LA Noir too, where I'm like, so what was the fucking point in this? Like, they say something like that, it's like, that's just a straight up lie, first off. Like, and there's plenty of times where I'm like, you know, isn't this technically illegal? Like, especially because, you know, this is based on fictional laws and all that, but LA Noir, you're dealing with, you know, real life laws and all that, and it's like, technically a lot of these people are breaking the law by lying to you. And at times, they would probably be able to get a defense that they were, you know, them lying to you was because they were scared for their own life, so be able to, you know,
Right.
they would be able to, you know, use that defense and they wouldn't get charged with anything most likely because that is a very real thing. If it can be found that you had a genuine reason to fear, say, retaliation or something because of your statements,
Right.
then you can be found, you won't be found guilty of perjury or anything because you have a distinct reason, effectively.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Unless he stayed.
It's another one of those ones where it's multiple statements. One piece of evidence, but it's multiple statements.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one I always presented on though, because this is like, dude, how did you not think he was dead?
No, hang on. Where's the
Like, how do you look at this and say, that man's sleeping?
Yeah, he's asleep. With a knife sticking out from his chest.
Just taking a little nap. Don't worry about it.
Anyways. Objection. So you honestly didn't think that he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? This is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Karida's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that he was a dead man.
Well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted, and then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
It's a funny thought, honestly. Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now. It was all just one giant lie.
Yeah!
And your lie...
Again.
Yep. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer!
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Madangard, is not guilty after all. But that's impossible! You're wrong! Miss Andrews, try and have some composure. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so is that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because... Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you? I refuse to testify. There is no need for this court to continue any further. Madame Guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. And now that I think about it, this is the first time that someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand over my verdict for Mr. Matt Ungard.
Huh?
Got it. Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. What? The reason is quite simple. The witness is here to speak the absolute real truth. The absolute real truth? What are you... Witness? Don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. As long as you protect yourself through your silence, Madame Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared.
It's Franziska von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrew lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then, right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging onto them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is to get her not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please. Someone, help me. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court can't continue like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right. I suggest you think very carefully about. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who the real mastermind behind this crime is.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else who could be except the woman crying over there. Right?
Come now. What will you do? What kind of man are you? Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Well, I mean,
While we need that not guilty verdict, I don't think Maya would approve of us, sending an innocent person away just to save her.
yeah. I mean, she didn't do it, as she is saying, or at least it feels like she didn't do it, because, like, if she did, she would be saying that she did do it right now. That's one of the best parts about, like, this part of the trial, is that, like, you beat down on Andrews, but and, like, when you're cornering a witness who is the killer, who is the actual criminal, it's supposed to be a triumphant moment. But this feels bad. This feels very bad.
Yeah. It does not feel right what we're doing.
This doesn't feel good. But I mean, we have to get that acquittal, right?
But that's why I even said Maya would not want us to save her at the cost of someone else.
Mm-hmm. I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I would like to know what you're really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Ungard would get an acquittal, but in his place you would be found guilty. Is this really how you want this trial to end?
Be quiet! How dare you! You're trying to trick me! That's enough! I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it is clear that the defense's theory is true. You're wrong! Such a shame. I had hoped that things wouldn't come to this. However, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andrew, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop! Mr. Edgeworth? This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrew.
The secret of her codependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please, please stop. I beg you. If people find out, ow. If you're going to say that you would choose death, that is no concern to me.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself? Or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk. Please? Me. Nothing matters anymore. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. So I made sure there was no one in the hallway. I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped the button. When I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai's costume. Stab the body with the knife? But why would you do that? Isn't it obvious? Pin the blame on a certain cowardly man. What do you mean by all of this? It might take the court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. That scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in her mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is that possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to have been the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
All right.
Alright.
Hold it?
I like how you said that like it's a question.
But you could tell that from the state the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth that when you say you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But the scarf was part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Okay. What is this plan that you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I know because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So, Matt did this to silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin the crime on Matt. Technically, legal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. That was the first thing that came to my. That was the first thing that came to mind when I. That was the first thing that came to mind when. Why can I not speak?
You can do
That
it.
was the first thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. I don't know why that was. Say. Once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a mad dash back to Matt's room.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
For the love of God, hold it.
For the love of God, hold it. Take it. Take the thing.
Take the thing, hold it. Right now.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
I used Matt. The knife I used was. Why am I struggling to speak so much today?
You got it. Don't worry.
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in and took the knife and returned it to the scene of the crime.
Alright.
And then I
Hold it!
spread it.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it?
I
Okay,
don't
cool.
want to. Stop trying to make me hold shit.
So you were the one who stabbed the victim with the knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it, even think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I can make Matt look even more. So, you thought to rip one of the buttons off, then plant it in Mr. Ungard's hamakama. Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
All right. Want another one? Hold it. An inconvenience.
There was a woman with a camera at the ready loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lara. Your haircut? Okay.
Why?
Sure, man.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready pacing back and forth.
Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Only ray gun.
That's Miss Oldback for you.
I had already been caught, and I made it made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai's costume.
Hold it! Hold it. Okay. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
I took it from Global Studio. Yes, I took it from Global Studio. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the confession, correct? For the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear the costume and hold a press conference in it. Uncle Samurai, big stinky poopy. I think that the Jammin' Ninja is worth that one.
I've come to make an announcement. This Jammin' Ninja is a bitch-ass motherfucker.
Come to make an announcement. I am the worst, and Jammin' Ninja is obviously better. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret thing. And what is this secret?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that the Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. Well, think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Ungard's room and planted the button. Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. For that, folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word! What does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Ungard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. That, I don't know why, but that gavel slam is one of the more chilling ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it comes after such a silence.
Yeah. No one has words to react to it, so... Whew.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain that she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor! The defense still... She's known me this long and forgot my name. That stings a bit.
Fair enough. Right? It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. I mean, there is not on any. There is things you can indict her on, just not the murder.
Just not the murder.
She still tampered with a crime scene and forged evidence. So,
You know.
there is stuff to indict her for.
Just not the crime right now, right here.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But
Right? Mr. Edgeworth, please place Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. Prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
oof. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Would you mind if I asked you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked me about this. Though I didn't remember it at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I just found this in the room on that day.
The judge is also rarely that serious.
Really?
It really hammers the weight and the lack of music.
Yeah.
Just heavy. Yeah. That gavel slam is so chilling. The way that it echoes is crazy.
Yeah. It's because you know what that gavel slam means.
Mm-hmm.
We failed.
Yeah. The room?
Should he move? That day. Yes. Did not kill him. This is bullshit. I'm sorry, I heard the room and I found the card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there, right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if the card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. As far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry!
Oh. Huh, that's a... You all right there, Edgeworth? What's up, buddy? Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea how stupidly, yet inadvertent... what you have stupidly, yet inadvertently done?
This is a bad time for Mo to show up.
Mo's always with us.
No, I'm still here.
I-
Shit's hit the fan, man.
I can't believe you hid this from me all this time! I didn't mean to.
What is this all about? I've never seen such an emotional Edgeworth in my entire life. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? Well...
I think this would actually be a really good point to end on. I know it's like 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
But like, first off, 20 minutes in investigation is effectively nothing. It's like
Yeah.
maybe one person we're gonna get to questioning. But also, that is a perfect ending because that is how you fucking cliffhanger an ending.
Yeah. Weird card. I'm so invested. I'm so invested, dude. It's like I got nothing to say. You want some popcorn?
I hope people are now seeing though why I say that this is just the best fucking case.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy crap. It gets so good.
It's
Anyway.
so damn good.
Yeah,
tennis training, sure.
You wanna tenor?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
In any case,
Yeah, so pick the right hashtag and we'll do all the lessons. What's the right hashtag gonna be, Keith?
hashtag deflate that head of yours.
Hashtag deflate that head.
Alright, so, tomorrow's going to be more Final Fantasy 14.
Yep, we are. Okay, so there is an event going on right now. We are not going to interrupt the main story currently to go do the event. We'll do the event next week
Fair enough.
because we are just at too intense of a point in the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to warrant interrupting Shadowbringers. Okay.
Fair enough. Thursday's going to be more Trails of Cold Steel 2.
We have 3 more members of Class 7 to find, but first we got to take a day to relax.
Woo! And Friday is going to be...
Start of LA Noir
Mm-hmm.
and Cole Phelps' Journey.
Oh boy.
My
2
favorite-
mystery games?
Look, as goofy as LA Noir, as like weird as LA Noir can get plot-wise, it's still a promise.
Oh, for sure. Saturday is going... Saturday we are not going to be able to stream, so that's going to be on Sunday.
They will be Fire Emblem, most likely.
Although Saturday we are also going to be on B's channel, probably, for more Dungeons and Dragons.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
I mean, the big thing is I won't be home till like 8:15ish. But
Yeah. We will see. But that's all from me. So I'll see you tomorrow for Final Fantasy 14 with 7. Later, gamers.
bye for now.